I searched for the stones. Nobody knew actually where the stones were and what the significance was. It took me about 20 years collecting all this information. We have this opportunity to save, they call ho'opakele, which means to save from destruction. These are Heiau stones that were saved by my grand tutus years ago during the overthrow. They took it off a Heiau that was being desecrated and put it on their land. And so we're standing on Napiahi land that was distributed years ago during the Great Mahele. I actually went looking for a stone in a photo that my grandfather had shown me. He was an avid genealogist and had beautiful pictures and collected them. And one specifically intrigued me, and that was the picture with my grand tutu, George Kahilihiva Kika'ula, who is from Pohakuloa Ka'u and lived in Kalapana, Kapa'ahu area. His son-in-law is my great-grandfather, David Napiahi. Looking for the stone and looking for where the picture was taken with my grandparents, I was intrigued. I asked my grandmother where that picture was taken, and she actually said probably somewhere near or on Coconut Island. But one of the questions I did ask her that she couldn't answer was, what was the stone in front of my grandparents in that photo? And she didn't really know. So I searched for the location of this picture, where it was taken, who might have taken that photo, and where the stone was. And within 20 years, I found so much information, and that information took me to where the stones were. It was taken from a heiau called Kuaka Ananu'u, which was adjacent to Mokuola, Coconut Island. Mokuola, and across of Mokuola was Maka'oku, which is that area. It's a very large area, and that right now that's where Hilo Hawaiian is, the golf course, Liliuokalani Park. It was a very large heiau, according to information that I had gathered. It stood 60 feet tall with 2 platforms. And it was one of very few heiaus that was built like a pyramid with a middle chamber, just like the Egyptians and just like the Aztec Indians. And ceremony, according to the information that was gathered, took place in the chamber and outside as well. The heiau was really large. They used the heiau as filler for the roads now around Liliuokalani Park, the parking lot for Mokuola. And then in the 1800s, Captain Spencer used the rest of the heiau stones to build what we have now called aisles. They're under the largest portion of the heiau stones. So that whole area was used as filler for what you see now. So that Japanese Liliuokalani Park, it used to be a sacred fish pond. It was called Vaihonu. It was in the 1800s that my great-grandparents removed the ceremonial stones from the heiau, whatever they could, retrieve, and they took it away from that spot and put it on their land. And no one touched it for over 200 years until last year, November. The harbor master has a project going on over here. I think they're going to be redoing this whole area. So they were the first ones that moved it. We passed here one day and we saw it used as barricade. That's when we contacted Tracy. I said, Tracy, what is happening? And State Historic Preservation. So they kind of moved this project along faster. When they're done doing this, then I'll go and build a ahu and secure Maka'okuikalani in the middle when I feel like the time is right for it. So the state is going to, what is neat is that no one really knew that these stones were significant, and I didn't want it to bring attention to it yet, you know, for fear that unless it's protected, someone might take it. So I have Maka'okuikalani so I could keep it safe until I could have the help of government to deem this area a significant historic site. And today was that day. They're going to help me today put buffer around the stones, protect it with ironwood like horse hitches, and then make room for Maka'okuikalani on an ahu in the middle, and with an interpretation sign. So they're printing one right now, which it's probably going to say HRS, you know, removing these stones will be a penalty, which is great. And then we're going to get to work with the state to actually do a really pretty sign like the one they have in the front of the Kamehameha statue.
Would never miss this for you guys.
I asked my father permission to look for the stone and to get the information. He was the only one that knew besides my brother. Today was the first day I let some of the other Napiahis know what we're doing. I just wanted to make sure that these were secure first. I had the information. I'm working with government. It's deemed a significant site. My family was really, really happy. It's awesome.